What's going on, guys? I am Jeremy. I'm that painter fella here on Instagram, and welcome to the Booth Talk channel. Today, I want to talk about just something that is kind of personal to me. I don't really talk about myself. I don't really put my story out there. I don't really talk about my past and stuff like that. Now, my past, whenever I mention that, it's not like most other people's. Oh, I've got a past. It's not like that. There was a celebrity that committed suicide. Just earlier on this week, it was Anthony something. I apologize. I don't follow celebrities. I don't get into that kind of stuff. However, his death sparked a big discussion again, as it always does when people kill themselves over suicide. You hear a bunch of different sides of it. You hear people talking about it's the easy way out, this and that. I always kind of keep quiet whenever it comes to that. It's something that I tend to just kind of keep my opinions to myself on. But it's something that I also have a lot of personal experience with. It's not something that I talk about. Not to make this video super long, drawn out, anything like that. So I'll just get right into it. I have struggled with depression, and for many years. Whenever I was a teenager, and then even into my early 20s. Parents got divorced. They were having a lot of issues back in the mid 90s. They wound up divorcing late 90s, early 2000s. That's when all that happened. And then my dad died 2006, November of 2006. I came home and I found him. One thing about depression and suicide and stuff like that is that you will never understand where somebody's mind is at as far as being depressed. If you've never been there, if you've never fallen into that hole and felt like you just can't get out, and it just feels like everything is just piling on top of each other, on one after another, and you just can't. There's no way to get out of it. It seems like this dark abyss that you kind of fall into, and everything pisses you off. You cannot make heads or tails out of things. So when people talk about it's you're taking the easy way out, this and that, it's a lot of times it's the last option that people have. When my parents were arguing, back whenever I was a kid, I think I was like, when everything happened, I was 14 when I tried to kill myself. I tried to overdose on a prescription medication. Didn't go so hot. Long story short, obviously I'm still here, and just doing what trying to reach out in a different platform. Parents wound up divorcing, but it's life. You learn to get over it, deal with it, and move on. But then I lost my father. Like I mentioned earlier, my dad died November of 2006. Here we are almost 12 years later. Me and him never had the greatest relationship. However, we had a good relationship. I always had a good relationship with my dad. He was just one of those, tough love kind of guys. That was him. That was who my dad was. And I loved him to death. Me and him got to be a lot closer. I got to have that good relationship with my father, after my brother moved out, and it got to be just me and my dad. That's not a knock on my brother. It's just I had more one-on-one time with him. That's all it was. But when Dad died, it threw me back down to that rabbit hole. And again, if you've never experienced going down that rabbit hole, if you've never been in an actual depression state of mind that you can't get out of, it is a very scary thing. A lot of times you don't want to talk about it, and then whenever you do want to talk about it, people that you talk to, they don't understand it. They can't get it. They don't understand. Well, just pick yourself up. It's life, and deal with it. Move on. I dealt with it probably about 3 months. 2-3 months after Dad died, and at that point I had moved into my brother's old house, and my brother, his wife and family moved into the old homestead, and I sat there with a pistol in my hand with a barrel in my mouth. It's not a story I tell, you know, it's not a story I've told many people. My mom actually found out about these 2 times, maybe 2-3 years ago. But I sat there in my living room with a pistol in my mouth, with my finger on the trigger, because I was in that depression. I felt that was my only way to alleviate it. While my finger was on the trigger, I actually got a phone call from my brother. So the fact that I'm here today, I owe him everything. I told him what was going on. I said, "You're calling out a hell of a time. You want to know what I meant?" And I told him what was going on. Leaving out a bunch of details here because it's not relevant. But he told me to. If I needed help, we'll get you help. Do you need to talk? This isn't what Dad would have wanted. Trying to talk me down off the ledge. And what ensued was probably right around a 30-minute conversation. And I put the pistol down, and I've been pretty good ever since. However, just because I say that I'm good with things and this and that, it's things still happen. I think there are just certain people who are more prone to getting depressed about things, but it's also how you pick yourself up, and it's also how you carry yourself, and it's how you keep your mental stability and keep that mental state of mind. A lot of times I get told, these days, I'm positive about a lot of things. It's because I've been on that dark side. It's because I've been down that road. I don't like that road. I enjoy getting the positivity out of life. I enjoy being that person, and the more positive you are with people, they reciprocate that. Especially whenever it's genuine. You have to learn to find the good in life with all the bad that does happen. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's life. Things happen. It sucks, but you just have to deal with it. Coming from someone who's been there, who has firsthand experience with trying to kill themselves and depression and suicide and all that jazz, it's a dark rabbit hole. But if I can pull myself out of it and enjoy life and be able to enjoy the success and career and life that I have now, anybody can. I'm happily married, have been now for over 10 years. I've got a little baby girl, a great paying job. I've got this workshop. I'm building Booth Talk, the podcast, all that. None of that ever would have been possible had I pulled the trigger. The only thing that committing suicide gives you is an ultimate end. There's no way to get better after that. And that's one thing I feel gets overlooked a lot of times, is that there's always time and there's always a way to make it better. However, if that person doesn't get caught in time, if they don't talk about it in time, then it's something that you can't go back from, just point blank. I feel anybody who deals with anything like that, go out, reach out, talk to someone. I can tell you right now from firsthand experience, it helps, and it changed my life. So, not sure if I'll put this video up or not. It's a relevant topic. Typically, I try to do paint and body stuff on this. It's something that I may put it up online. We'll see. So, with that, guys, I hope you be well. Stay safe. Welcome to a glimpse of my past. It's not the person I am today, but it is life, and it's who I am. I don't run from it. It's just I don't talk about it. So, guys, be well. Stay safe. I'll catch you next time.